Welcome to the SupaTea podcast show. So I know it is the wee hours of the morning, and not the time where I wake up right before the day breaks or the day starts, but a little earlier than that. And I just had to come and share of how marvelous, fantastic my day was yesterday. Now my legs don't necessarily agree with me, but they gonna be alright. They gonna be alright. They gonna be alright. I am just grateful, grateful. So I started out just emotional. Lord have mercy. Emotional was I at the top of yesterday, and I just sat with it. I sat with it. I played music to express myself, and I prayed. I pray a lot, like a whole lot, because the day prior was really magnificent too. And I had the opportunity to sit with like minds and to sit with, I dare say, community leaders. That what I was gonna dare say was gonna be colleagues, but yeah, I didn't get there yet. But I'm there, like like I'm there mentally. I'm there definitely heart wise, because that was another venture that I had endeavored upon just out of straight passion and love and divine motivation, But one thing I've learned through my experience, that divine motivation, has to be coupled with the the network to actually achieve what one is being inspired to achieve, right? But anyway, that's neither here or there. The day before was quite wonderful too. It was quite wonderful. Like it was really good. It was really good. I have new friends. I have new friends, and one friend, it's just really smart, really smart, really smart. And the more the friendship develops, the more I'm appreciative of this new friend of mine. And I feel like I can just be open and just be me. And you know um it's not a transactional friendship. It's a genuine friendship. It's like, I see you, I hear you, and I think what you're doing is excellent, and this is what I can do to show that, and I appreciate that a lot. I appreciate that a lot. And I know that a lot of, um, I just appreciate that. I just appreciate that. So I want to put that out there, that I appreciate that. Um, Sometimes it's a bit of awkwardness, on my end, I think, um, because when the friendship began to develop, there were so many different class dynamics that would seem to clash. It would seem like, you know, because I was at a particular public standpoint where it comes to class. And when I mean class, I mean let's be realistic. The class system still exists here in America. I'm not gonna say that it doesn't, you know. So you have lower class, and then out up middle class, and then upper class, and then in the midst of the class system, you have these other subcategorizations that you know, individuals place humans in. You know, it's like, oh, okay, well, how much money do you make a year? Okay, and what's your level of education? And not even all the time what's your net worth. That's a part of it because that's how much you make a year, right? But then what is your network? Who do you know? You know, and what was you? Who are your people? You know, and so with all those subcategories, it was like me be friends with that person? No way, right? And not only like when my, I wouldn't say my initial thought because it wasn't my initial thought. It was just, I was just so enamored. Enamored is the correct word. I was so enamored that a person that was not of a certain class even was able to see people that were of a lower class, so to speak, and were, I guess, in another categorization. You know what I mean? It was like this person can see like I can see because I can see through that. You know, like I can see the person's heart, so to speak. And so when I initially came into that realization, um, it stirred up a lot within me. And they're easy on the eyes, you know. So I was just like, I became enamored. And, you know, once I became enamored with my stubborn Taurus self, you know, you'd have thought I jumped somebody's broom or something. You know, that's how um, I want to say dedicated, but that's not the right word. It's just how enamored I was. I was extremely enamored, and you know, and I was curious. I was curious. I was enamored because not only do they have the ability to see people, I also, you know, just realize like their cultural preference and practices gives them, from my perception, liberty to um, mm, indulge came to mind. I don't know if that's the right word, but liberty to entertain the non-Western way of um, relationships, you know. So I was just like, okay, you know, where can a sister girl fit in? Can a sister girl fit into this, you know? And I don't even know if and I'm gonna say the word. I'm gonna say the word. I don't know if polygamy is something that they practice, but I do feel that it's something that it's something that their friends practice. So let's put it like that. That's the best way I can put it. So I don't know. And I don't know the dynamics of it, you know, because it's not something I've ever practiced. Um, but because I was curious and because of all of the other components, I was just like, wow, okay, cool, you know. But anyway, neither here or there. Um, the different categorizations, um, I wouldn't say put the categorizations didn't do anything actually. It just, for me, showed me the different dynamics of modern day society, you know, and particularly you know, melanated, blacks, coloreds, indigenous, whatever titles we may want to accept, the aboriginals, the original people. It gave me different perspectives into our um, array of cultures and how we operate within these different subcategories and things of that sort. So, again, I feel uh, confident enough and comfortable enough to say that this individual that initially, I wouldn't say initially because it wasn't initially, it was a natural enamoration. I don't even know if enamoration is a word, but it's gonna be a word today at the Super Tea podcast show. The natural enamoration that grew from my observations and, the time that in the spaces that were shared um, is now at I feel a healthy space, and a space it probably should have. Well, even though again because of the difference of the classes, and in the subcategorization, and I'm gonna be blunt about it. I just acquired an associate's degree at the age of 43. You know, so uh, would I be classified as educated? Mm, and not really. Even with the because nowadays a bachelor's is kind of like the bottom of the totem pole, and then there's the master's, and then there's your PhD, right? I mean, in actuality, the associates would be right, but when it comes to looking for work, or and making a living for yourself in the corporate world, the bachelor's is the bottom of the totem pole. I don't see any jobs that's like um, coming with an associate's degree in 2026. I just don't see them, so, and even the school itself, like you'll get a part-time job with an associate's degree. You can't get a full-time gig even at the college with a damn associate's degree unless you're working in maintenance, or you're doing public safety. If you're not in those two fields, yeah, you're not getting a full-time job with a daggone associate's degree. This thing happening. So, that's one part. You know what I'm saying? Um, and then there's the other parts, like I mentioned, the social parts. Who do you know? Because the thing is, the more you are integrated into these different systems, the more network you got, not net worth, network. And people are people regardless. People be talking, people be minding other people's business, and people, because of their different positions and yada yada yada, are influential. So for example, you got a friend that's, and this just a random example that came to mind. I have a friend who's a judge, and I'm an entrepreneur, or I'm somebody in the community. Their opinion has some type of weight, and I consider that in the decisions that I make and actions that I take, because I don't want there to be any bad blood, so to speak, between me and this official, basically, right? Because a judge, although it's a public servant, is also a government official, technically, so yeah, like all of those dynamics play a part when it comes to individuals. And not saying that every individual allows those dynamics to keep them away from good natured individuals, but people have to be cautious. And I totally get and grasp that, because I'm cautious, even not being in those um, upper classes or middle classes, uh, or having the network, um, I get it. I'm cautious. I am cautious. I don't associate with any and everybody. I study individuals who express that they have an interest, and I have boundaries and healthy boundaries. So I get it. I get it, and it doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me. What has been bothersome is other individuals that have no clue, ain't even paying attention to, and are then looking down, or just allowing their personal stuff that they may have to deal with to affect how they are professionally um, interacting with people. So, with that being said, it is what it is. It's not bothersome. It's just something I noticed, and something that I know I have no control over, but I would like to see change. Um, I feel professional settings, and this is going to be so ironic because I know people are human beings, and I'm not saying people should not feel. I'm not saying people shouldn't have emotions. I'm just saying it's a time and place of how you express those emotions. And when you are in a professional setting, and not saying that professionals, again, are not human beings, and they don't make mistakes, and yada, 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 but you should just have enough self control to contain that, and not only contain it, still be able to address whatever needs to be addressed from strictly a professional space, and not well, I'm in this position and I don't like how you did this, so I'm going to, because this is how I feel a particular dean operates. I don't like how you did da da da, so because I am this position, and I have authority over this, and I have authority over that, and I have authority over this, and I have authority over that, I'm going to um, not make things easy for you. And I'm going to share how I personally feel about how you engage as an individual, even though I don't know you personally outside of this space. But I'm gonna get come up with assumptions, and I'm gonna have discussions based on these assumptions that I have, and yada yada yada, blah blah blah. Right? So it is what it is. It's not that, but that's not even important, because even though they did all the stuff that they did, this one particular dean, um, they were not successful in stopping anything in my life. The challenges not only expose me for who I am, but the challenges expose them for who they are. And the people who actually are not impressed by, and they weren't impressed from the get-go by their shenanigans, have a clearer picture of them. Because if, as a quote-unquote dean, a person can choose to create challenges because they don't like how someone handled something, um, that's a reflection on them, because it wasn't a personal thing. You should have just took accountability and kept it pushing forward, instead of letting your ego say, "Oh, well, I am the dean, because since I am the dean, I will not tolerate this type of kickback from somebody who who don't even have an associate's degree." Anyway, fun times, right? It's observing and adjust, learning and growing. Anyway, back to the good, perfect day. So yeah, Thursday was fantabulous, and not Thursday, Friday. Friday was fantabulous. I said yes. I have been in surrender mode to the divine, and it's fun and scary all at the same time. It's fun because it always works out, right? Always works out. When I say yes, it always works out, which inclines me to say yes again, inclines me to put my intellect. To the back burner of my divinity, put my intellect to the back burner of my heart, right? And just say yes. And so I did that Friday and I was in such awe. I was like speechless. I was speechless, wanting to scream of joy and all of the above when I came in the house. I was just like, oh, oh. And that's when that was I wouldn't say that was when. I want to say yesterday was when I was like, this is a friend. Like this is a true friend. And thank you. You know, um, Friday I was still very much in that, in my awe and in my appreciation. I was just I wasn't. I was still in that other space. And the other space was that enamoration. But you can be enamored with your friends. And that's one thing that I learned. Um, not say I learned, but one thing I could appreciate because I have two new friends, so that's the one new friend, right? And that friend is excellent and great, and I support what that friend does. They're supportive of what I'm doing, and I get all of the everything. I get all the dynamics of this because it's new, this new friendship. I get it. Cool. Whatever. Great. Right. Now let's jump to yesterday. Yes, because that was Friday. Let's jump to yesterday. So yesterday, I go to an event, and it was interesting because my son revealed to me things I knew already, but I wasn't even thinking about it. It was just because why? It's, I got so many other things to be thinking about. When my son brought it to my attention, it was like, for real? Like, it was a heated discussion, but it was just like, I'm not even there. I thought out of sight, out of mind. But the fact that I'm not even um, at that space, you know, and people are still having conversations. Whoa, interesting. Interesting. So my son brought up a particular staff member, and it was really funny because it was like you brought up this person that we already peeped they stilo, but why would you bring that person up? And they're like, yeah, that person is talking a whole bunch of crap. I'm like, okay. And my son didn't. Again, this was a heated debate with my son, and so he didn't come calmly and say, this person was saying this, that, and the other. It was more so, why would you tell this person this, that, and the other? And I was like, why would I tell this? What you talking about? I ain't tell nobody nothing. What you, that person? What are you talking about? And it's like, yeah. And that person be talking crap about you. And I'm like, huh? And I just like laughed a little bit in the middle of the heated discussion because I'm like, why would you even bring that person's name up here? And I know this person was messy because the person didn't even know me and was telling me things about a person that I don't even know. And they were so adamant about it. So I already knew and had put them in their, I'm going to say it, classification. And I don't pay them no mind. However, because they, um, that particular staff member does a lot of things there, I would, interact. And they weren't per se rude to me, so it was like, okay, it's a professional space. I'm gonna just be professional. Like, I don't have to like this person for who they are or any of that stuff. Yeah, they want to talk about people. That's their business. So I'm not surprised that they're, but here's the thing. I don't have to be in that in those spaces no more. I don't have to work with that person for anything, um, doing music and doing this. Again, this is a person that deals with a lot of technical stuff there, but it's like I don't have to be there anymore. Like, I'm done with being there. So, I maybe be cordial, but I really don't have to, and I'm really not even going to now. Especially since it has, I guess, whatever. I don't know what the discussions are. I don't know what the discussions are. She's too happy. What are the discussions? She walks funny. What are the discussions? She won't talk about nobody unless she's on her podcast. And even when she's on her podcast, she's more so talking about herself and her observations and her experiences. And she ain't even saying nobody's name. And we don't even know what the heck she's talking about. Doubt that person listens to my what you call it. But anyway, I know that that person and the dean, they're cool. They're buddy, 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 buddy. See what I'm saying? They're buddy, 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 buddies. And um, yeah, they have similar mindsets, even though they are different classes. They got similar mindsets, and it is what it is. I took the liberty um, of not engaging. It was like I seen them, they videotaped, because they were being nosy. And that was it. I was just like, they better not come say nothing to me because I don't have to play the polite thing, even though I'm at the space, I'm outside. And I didn't come to support something that of the entire place. I came to support a particular portion, a particular part, and I don't have to be professional right now. I can just be a community member and speak my god daggone mind. So please do not send that person over to me, God. And they didn't. They didn't. They seen me. They didn't come like, hey. And I'm so grateful that they did not come like, hey. Because I would have been like, I ain't got time, young man. I ain't got the time. I ain't got the time. I ain't got the time. I don't work here. I don't study here anymore. I ain't here for your shenanigans. Take care of yourself. But news travels quickly. And these crystals and my movement and my choices of intentionality is not a costume. It's not an outfit that I put on and I take off. This is who I am. So I guess, again, I don't know why that information even came back to me, because I already knew how they were navigating out in life because that's how they navigated with me. It's never, um, I have this going on and I have this dream and I want to do this with my career and I want to do that with my career. Their conversation is always, always, always somebody else. Every now and then they'll bring up their daughter, but mostly it's other people. Oh, this happened, this person, that, da, 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 da. I just gotta go. Smile, gotta go. I gotta go. So anyway, um, so I wouldn't say that shifted the the energy. What I will say is it was beautiful weather. I came good intentions, good energy. As soon as I stepped out my door, like I stepped out my door, and it was just like boom, the the magnetism and the energy was so just I it was good. That's all I can say. It's good. I was feeling good. I took care of myself. I had breakfast. I made sure I had my vitamins. I laughed. I took my time. I put treatment into my hair. Left it there. Slicked it back. Didn't even know what I was really gonna do with my hair, but it came together in a way that was strictly surrender, strictly divinity, just strictly amazing, you know? And so it just, that's how the day flowed. And even the short moments of like that, I want to say student, but they're not really a student, but that individual um, came and did they little nosy went to whatever. And then there were um, other different dynamics. But it was still good. It was still good. And, being an only child, I hate to say it's a flex, but it is a flex. It's a flex. And not only just being an only child, but navigating life and lacking up until recently the stability to develop, because you need stability to develop um, friendships and a network, right? And so those are things that I didn't really have until recently. And so, I've had to learn how to be comfortable with myself. And I love it. I love being comfortable with myself, by myself. I don't need to always be um, in people's faces. I don't need to always be a part of a social whatever. Like I'm good. I can go to events and I can still be me. And that's a good feeling. It's a good feeling. And so, and I'm always observing, of course. And I know that I'm always being observed too. So I enjoyed myself, and I earthed, and I listened to good tunes, and I sang, and I ate, and then now I'm like, okay, I kind of wanted to have more fun. I wanted to have more fun. So I'm like, and I didn't even know of anything else that was going on. And if I decided at the moment to come back into the house, I was just gonna have more fun in the house, like and reflect. But as um, I wouldn't even say I'm not gonna take credit for this, but I can say that I noticed my other new friend, and this other new friend, our I don't know who this person is. I just know um, they're it's it's one of those vibes where it's like I know you even though I don't know you type thing. And this is a sister, and she's more mature than me, you know. And I remember when I first seen her at a space, and I was at a space, a network event, but and it wasn't really like professional, even though it was a bunch of professionals. So professional network events differs. You have the ones that's like at a conference center, or and there's just you're just there. They may have some light bites there. Everybody's suited and booted, and it's not as relaxed. This one was more relaxed. This one was at a local bar. They were giving people free drinks to really kind of loosen them up. I still have my card because I be on. I wouldn't say I be on high alert, but I definitely be alert and aware. And this was a stretch for me, because I didn't know anybody there. There were people I'd seen before, but I was going there with my friends and my homegirl. Like I want to say that this lady I hung out with yesterday, she's officially like my homegirl. Um, that's just how I feel in my spirit. But that's how I felt from day one. Day one, it was like, okay, um, I'm gonna just introduce myself to people, speak to people, and then get up out of here. Okay, and be open and receptive, obviously, to networking and learning and all of that good stuff, right? So I did that. But in the midst of me doing that, this particular sister, it was just like the conversation we stopped. We stopped. We talked. We laughed. And I was and she asked me questions, and I was like, just honest, and not in a way where I felt like I had to be polished. There's different types of honesty, right? It's polished honesty, and then it's just raw honesty. And I just was raw. She was like, "Well, how is this?" And I was just like, "I don't know." And she was like, "It's okay. None of us do." And I was just like, "Okay, I don't know if this is a trick." And she gave me a few words of advice, and that was it. She told me a little bit about her business, and that was it. And I was just like, okay, all right, and so, and then she carried on with the evening, and at the end of that evening, my legs was in so much freaking pain. I'll tell you, so much pain. So it was like I was grateful for the experience. I was grateful for the connections, but the pain that I was feeling in my body had superseded me being as excited. And that was what, about a month ago. That was about a month ago. So again, my legs, they don't feel great, but the fact that I'm able to reflect is showing that I must be consistent with my physical therapy, because it may not be a quick fix with my legs, but they are able to to heal and to grow and to be better. So continue to keep that as a priority, because the better they get, the more mobile I am, the more I can do different things and different events and yada yada. So it's cool. It's cool, 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 cool. So anywho, that sister was there at the event today, and this is how I got to speak on how divinity moves. I'm not saying that the way God moves, divinity moves in my life, right? It's the same way it's gonna move in your life. But just to encourage any of my listeners that divinity is real, God is real, and when you do surrender and you are open and you are receptive to however that higher intelligence that exists will operate and orchestrate things, like you benefit. You're not losing here. It's a win-win situation, and it's more challenging for those of a high intellectual demeanor, right? And because your mind wants to figure it out. but there's a time and place for you applying that intellect. And in certain things, it's just like surrender. That's where I'm at. I surrender, right? So I had no idea. I just knew I wanted to have fun. Um, I wanted to have a good time. I wanted to be supportive, and I was open and receptive to however the day flowed, right? So this other new friend of mine's, this sister new friend of mine's, she didn't even plan to come to this event. She was in a whole nother space doing her thing, okay, doing her own thing, and she just brought up in conversation. It really would be nice to hear some drums. And the people that she was having the conversation with was like, oh, they're doing that today. And she was like, oh, I'll go check it out. And she was solo dolo by herself. And she came and I seen her. And I didn't even see her when she first got there. For somebody who's always being so observant, right? I didn't even see her when she first got there. I saw her though, because she sat like in a row of where I was sitting at the other end of it. And I was like, hey, and it was the timing was I couldn't have orchestrated the perfect timing, because people I had reminded about it and who had came out and had a good time and brought their family and all of that, they didn't stay. They told me thank you and they went on, and it was like, okay, cool, 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 you know, and it was just good. 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 But I also noticed, okay, because there has whatever, for whatever reasons, whatever, you know, um, there was, I didn't have any, I wouldn't say I didn't have any. That's not the proper terminology. Um, I had probably only one actual friend there at this big event, and um, I was just like, okay, I don't want to go to the house, even though I will go in the house to have fun, but I didn't. I came to have just to have a fun day. So now what do? I'm just sitting there like, okay, and I almost left before I saw my other new friend, and um, but I asked. I was like, okay, Divine, what do? And Divine was like, just be still. Just be still. Just relax. And I was like, okay. And that's what I did. And then, again, I saw my other new friend. And when I seen her, I was like, hey. She was like, hey. It was, again, like, I know this is my second time seeing you, but I feel like I know you already type shit. And I think it's just because we are both women who have done our work. But I made a comment, like how internal work and continue to do it, right? I made a comment and like really do it. Like not just go through the motions, but like deal with our own selves, sit with ourselves, work through our emotions, really, really go into those sacred spaces within ourselves and tune in and tap in. And again, it doesn't look the same, but the results are similar. And the results, when you are tuning in and tapping into your divinity, to your God force, your God energy, you operate and you move around the world in a free way. And you're able to connect. You're able to connect genuinely. You're able to just be, just be. So it was good. It was good. It was good. She had already knew about other things that was going on, and she was gonna go to these other things just by herself. And I was like, do you want a wing, lady? And she was like, sure. And we hung out. We hung out the whole rest of the day, and it was nice. We had fun. We took pictures with some fine officers. It was just, it was the necessary girl time that I needed. I needed it, and I'm just like, okay, um, thank you. Like I came inside and I was just like, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I was able just to be me, and I'm always me, but I recognize because of my observations, I recognize when I'm being me and it's too much. And a person doesn't have to tell me it's too much. Their behavior, or they'll say a slick comment and try to make it seem like it's light, and think that because I didn't respond to it, I didn't catch it. Oh, I caught it. But I will overlook certain things when I see value. You know what I'm saying, within a person. That's how my other friendship that I was developing had to pause. Because that young lady, even though she has a wonderful heart and she has a wonderful mind, yeah, I was too much. I was too much, and she said it. You be doing too much, and I'm like, well, what? What exactly is too much? Like, don't just make the comment and don't have the something to back it up. That's like, oh, she crazy. Okay, what crazy thing did I do? Please, you don't have anything, huh? She's always laughing. She don't talk about people. I'm healed stupids. I'm sorry, they not stupid. They're not stupid. They're just not at the same evolutionary point that I'm at. But it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. They would argue that they are beyond, because their bank accounts may temporarily be beyond mine's. But, whatever. That's a moot point. The point is, people just throw out words without having any type of anything substantial to back it up. You got nothing substantial to back it up. You just throw out stuff. Where's the evidence? Where's the evidence? You just can't say things just because you're uncomfortable around a person. Where's the evidence? You ain't got none. You just talking to talk. Just be quiet. Just shut up. Anyway, no, I was able just to be, just to be, and to again be around a person who has done their own internal work. She's done her work. It's evident that she's done her work. It's evident, it ain't just surface. She has done in depth work. And I'm just like, wow, this is like a true reflection. I've been waiting for this, God. So I'm excited about it. I'm excited. I've been needing it. I've been wanting it. Um, I'm happy to have it, and I know it's new, but I just know, like, yeah, as the things that are shifting positively continue to shift positively in my life, I just know this is the person I want to be hanging out more with. Like, it. I didn't feel any type of disharmony. It was perfect. It really was. It was perfect. It came at the perfect time. I had a ball. Um, it was good. It was good. It was really good. And If the day wasn't so long, I probably could have elongated it. Like, I don't, let's hang out more. But, it was a long ass day. And the day before I was out moving around. And, you know, again, I'm not a spring chicken. I'm over 40. And I don't know where this sister is. She might be over, I don't know. I don't know. She looks like she's 35, so I have no clue. But I know she's beyond where I'm at. She's beyond where I'm at. But it was good. It was good. It was good. It was so good. Um, we went to a festival and it was crowded, but it was good. It was so freaking good. And it's good to be out experiencing life and concluding or just being present, right? But in the midst of being present, knowing that whatever people are talking about on these news channels and yada, 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 to push these agendas of fear and da, 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 like that's not the reality of what's really going on in the world. What's really going on in the world, people are learning, people are growing. And even when people um, see new things, right? Because she did a scan. We first got to the festival to see how many people that look like us was around. And it was a bit here, a bit there. We ended up sitting at a restaurant, which when we initially sat, I didn't even realize the daggone police command center was right there. A mobile command center was right there, right? Like we saw cops scattered here and there. We took pictures with them. Some of them were fine. I'll tell you, fine, fine. Shout out to the city. They did really good. When I tell you they did good, they did good. They did good. But um, I have a different experience with law enforcement, period. I'm going to just throw that out there. I don't buy the narrative that people or, certain agendas have tried to push to separate. Um, and I think one of the reasons why I don't have that narrative experience, my experience has been different. They have, in all of my decades, it's only been one that I had a negative experience with. I've never had negative experiences with them. They've always kind of been like um, at my rescue. So, and even with my son, and my son is a black male in America, but yeah, I have a different experience with law enforcement. I don't have this experience with assholes. The experience I've had with law enforcement, and I've had friends who we became friends, and I didn't even find out they were in law enforcement, and until like years into the friendship, and I only found that out because they invited me in their home, and they was like, "Oh yeah, I retired from this." It's like, oh, yeah, I used to do that. And so many. Well, not a lot, but still, it happened more than once like that, right? Where people were just being their genuine selves, and there was a vibe, and there was like, after a bit, come on by, come on by for this, and come on. These are black people, So again, my experience is different. I had a white one call me from Virginia. Okay, and I will never forget that right there. I wish I still had his fucking information. I really do. I feel like I wrote it down somewhere. But yeah, this white cop called me from Virginia with my belligerent, um, intoxicated brown son in the back of his fucking car. Okay? So yeah, you can't tell me about these motherfuckers. I fucks with them. I don't give a fuck. I have not seen them just fucking with people for no fucking reason. I haven't. And I'm from the hood, in the hood, still, and have been to various hoods, and I haven't seen that in any hood. I just haven't. So, anywho's, um, I just had to put that out there. Like, I fucks with them. I don't give a fuck. If you don't, you feel away, feel away. I'm not uncomfortable around them. Um, if my legs were in better conditions, I would have had some white gloves. Period. I would have had some white gloves. Those are my folks. I don't know whether I did it in another lifetime or what it is. I can't even describe what it is, but it's something. It's a familiarity that's undeniable, and there's so many good, genuine motherfuckers that choose that as a profession to work in and to be a service in. And it's, trust me, from the consensus of those who have allowed me and invited me into their homes, it ain't because of the pay. Okay? It ain't because of the pay. Now, the pay ain't bad, and the benefits surely ain't bad. You know, you want to get in and get out, give a place 25 years. That's the place to go. You know, but yeah, these people give a fuck, and they choose a career that allows them to care and serve in the capacity that their heart and their soul has given them the momentum to do so, and give them the training and support and network. So kudos to those, to our uniform people who are acting within their free will and their free minds, because we have others, again, a few, not a lot, a few, who don't behave in those ways, but the majority does. And that's my experience. And again, how we got over to that is that you have to go and live life. You cannot just listen to the narratives that are being pushed out there. You have to have experiences. You got to see for yourself. You have to live your life. You have to see for yourself and have your own experiences. And I encourage anybody and everybody to do it. So if you are watching the news and this, that, and the other, turn that shit the fuck off. Turn it off. Go live life, because what I seen today was so many different cultures, so many different people, and everybody, even though we're crowded and even though people were intoxicated, people were having a good time. We were having a good time, being peaceful, being happy, feeling good. It was good. That's what I seen today. And even with the people that were not used to, um, it was good. It was just 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 so good. That's all I can say. It was so good. And I just wanted to come and talk about it. I have some new people to meet tomorrow, which I'm excited about, especially because it's a new moon. And, you know, these people, I don't know, these these people may have a position for me. You know, I might, as much as I love to speak and teach, and I may be getting paid to do that sooner than I think, you know. That's what I'm feeling here, because This particular space that I'm going to tomorrow is a space where I've been before. I know that this is a good space for me. I don't know why I didn't return to it when I went the first time. I think it was just so many different challenges happening that I just kind of got wrapped up into the challenges. But now again, everything is smooth, everything is stable. I had a very vivid dream, and I was like, okay, this is where I'm gonna go. And I contacted them, and they're like, heck yeah, come on. And I wanted to go last week, and then Mother Nature came, and I was like, oh, shoot. I can't come when there's gallons of fluids being released from my body. It's not gallons, but it's definitely not a little. It's more like ounces, but still, you know, I need my fluids. I'm not supposed to be hydrated, and ounces of fluids is leaving me. I need this hydration, but the beauty of being a woman, every goddamn on month, and I don't think it's gonna stop anytime soon. I think like probably like 60. That's like almost a whole 20 more fucking years. 60 my eggs should be done, but faithfully on time. Don't skip a goddamn nothing. Like da 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 da. I'll be like, oh Lord, for 50 years, this is what we're gonna go through. Whew. And it's like, yup, especially the healthier you are, them eggs is dropping, baby, on time. Every 28 days, like a god dang on month. Bloop, 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 bloop. Anyway, I know that's TMI, right? But anyway, that's why I chose not to go last week. So I'm like, and last week was a big week. It was a big week. Big stuff was happening. But I said, it's okay. That's okay. I'll go the next week. I'll reach out to them. And I did. I connected with some folks. So when I get there, it won't be like, oh, welcome. It'll be like, oh, hey, you made it. Which is kind of cool. So I'm looking forward to that. And doing a bit of business for the cafe. Um, it was good for me to see I want to say the main spot. And I say the main spot because I feel like this particular spot is going to be um, there, like, for, like, I just feel like the cafe is occupying that space. It's not going to move to another space. Like, this is its space, right? It's a space that seems to be specifically for it, but that space, it's possible to renovate that space in 2 months. But I don't want to rush it. I don't want to rush it. So, being that my timeline is really tight, I have to be open to alternatives. The spaces that don't need any renovation, those are top priority, right? Spaces that don't need any reservation. There's even a space that's in a whole nother city that not only doesn't need any renovations or major renovations, has all of the licenses and yada 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 that comes with operating a restaurant. Have all of that already. All I need to go in there is throw some paint, do a little superficial stuff, which is quick, can be done within a week, you know. And so that's a possibility. I ain't gonna say it's not a possibility. If that's one of the locations, one of the what's the word I'm looking for? It's a particular word where there's like a main location. I don't know what it is at the top of my head right now, but if that's the main location for, because it's in a whole different city. For this city, cool, you know. But I am going to look for, short leases in Montclair. Yes, I see the building. It's going to be the cafe's building. I see that. Um, but for the timeline I'm looking at, I'm open to other options. So I'm going to take a look. Nothing like having the boots to the ground, right? Um, I tried to do the realtor's route, um, and I felt really good about it because it was a sister. But then it got what's the word I'm looking for? Not weird, not strange, because I get it. It got revealing. I think revealing is the best way to go at it. Because I was communicating, and the communication was good, and we had a similar interaction, but it was nothing like this interaction I just had. You know, because again, you can tell when somebody has done their internal work, and that doesn't knock any external work. So I want to be clear there. I know that it's easy to get wrapped up in external work and to neglect the internal work, but it is going to show. It's going to show. It's going to show for sure. So, um, the interaction just it it reflected that, and I made a decision that I was not going to um, have a negative interaction with this person. I admire their growth. I admire where they are externally, and I I know why they may operate away and be a bit defensive, and I get that. Like, I get it, I get it, I get it, I get it. If just even from things that they shared with me, why they would be defensive and things of that sort. And I know there's probably people to validate their defenses and yada, yada, yada. So I just took a step back. It's like, okay, I'm going to put my boots to the ground and I'm going to figure this out, because that was my initial plan anyway. They just came in and was like, they were introduced to me from somebody that I don't know, and I was like, we got the same, you know, um, perspective on stuff. This is gonna work. But again, external work and internal work are two different things, and they're both important. However, you can tell when the internal work, um, there needs to be some more done, and that's okay. So I say that to say I gotta be out there. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with getting on the bus and, you know, um, traveling and getting the information. First time I opened up, I did have a vehicle, so it made it a little easier with navigating, but it's okay. I'm in a city and town and county where there's public transportation, so I'm able to navigate and get around, which is a big, huge blessing. So I'm gonna take another nap, and then get my day going. And I should be back for Soulful Sundays. I should be back home for Soulful Sundays. That's my goal. Go take care of my business, handle my business, network, possibly, possibly be contracted to speak in a particular space. Who knows? We'll see how it unfolds. But yeah, enjoy this new moon and get this cafe open and operating and continue building my new friendships. Right? I think I'm gonna be in Mexico in October. I think this summer is about to be phenomenal, and it didn't even start yet. We didn't get to the 21st yet, but yeah, I feel like it's gonna be phenomenal, more phenomenal than I can even imagine. And we know I definitely have an imagination. But I'm grateful. I'm grateful for this space to share, grateful to be, grateful to know, grateful to embrace, grateful to just exist and have these wonderful experiences. And I'm open and receptive to all these wonderful experiences. Um, I met a suitor as soon as I left out of my residence. So we'll see how the follow up is. They were polite though. They were polite, and even though they was looking at my cakes, they were polite. So we're gonna see if they're a gentleman. And I like the fact that they are into their health. And so we're just gonna see. We're gonna see. We're gonna see. We're gonna see. But any hoots. I'm gonna get up off of this broadcast, and I'll be back for Soulful Sundays at 3 p.m. Hopefully, in my office space inside after a very successful, productive early start of the day and mid afternoon. So, thank you for tuning into the Super Tea Podcast Show. Know that it is always my intentions and goal of sharing and being transparent to inspire and to motivate. And if you get a laugh out of it, that's a bonus, okay? That is a bonus. But take care of yourselves, people, and do your work. Do your inner work. Know that there is a bigger intelligence out there, no matter how smart you are, okay? And lean into that bigger intelligence and do your internal work. And the more you lean in to that that um, bigger intelligence, the more comfortable you'll be in doing it. So when challenges come and arise, instead of you thinking that everything relies on you, you can pause and you can put your intellect with the bigger intellect, and then boom, it's where the magic happens. However, you gotta do your internal work to really be able to capitalize off of that. So do your internal work, keep up your external work. Know that your internal work is more important than your external work. And be your best self and keep on getting better. You know how I feel. We want our world to be better. We got to each be better ourselves. And although we have no control over anybody outside of ourselves, we absolutely have control over ourselves. And here's the bonus, people, I'm realizing. You do your own internal work and you are shining. Guess what? You inspire others. Even when you're not even having an in-depth conversation, you just inspire them with your frequency. And you'll see it all around you. So keep it up. All right? Thank you.